Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lucy Clement. I'm a health and wellness consultant, and on this channel I talk about issues that touch on our health. In my previous videos I talked about the misunderstanding that takes place between people living in Africa and their relatives living abroad, and this is because of the misconception that people living abroad are living in abundance of wealth. And you find that in some families, a brother, a sister, even in some cases, parents have misused money that belongs to someone who is living in abroad. And this issue is affecting a lot of families. And this is why I have decided to talk about today's issue. And today's topic is on what happens in our bodies when we keep grudges. What happens in our bodies when we struggle with unforgiveness. There is an old saying that says keeping a grudge is like drinking poison and expecting somebody else to die. Just to clarify, I'm not a medical doctor. As I have said, I'm a health and wellness consultant. I have a diploma in holistic nutrition and other holistic courses. So and I've done a lot of research on the topics that I am talking about. So when we are going through a lot of stress or fear, whether it is falling out of love, or we have been betrayed, or we are going through a lot of worry, the adrenal glands releases or produces excessive adrenaline, and this is a fight or flight hormone. Now, the adrenal glands are located on top of your kidneys, and they are part of the endocrine system. And this is a system that consists of all hormone-producing glands. And now, just to explain what a hormone is a chemical messenger, and we need these chemical messengers for the body to function the way it is meant to be, or it's meant to function. In the case of adrenaline, what happens, some of the effects of adrenaline in the body is that it raises your heart rate, it elevates your blood pressure, the blood vessels contracts to direct blood to major muscle groups like your lung and your heart. It also increases glucose in the bloodstream. And if you've ever been stressed, or if you've ever been very angry, you kind of resonate with what I'm talking about. Now, the effects of adrenal gland can last up to 1 hour after you have been removed from a stressful situation. Unfortunately, excess adrenaline in the body is both toxic and corrosive to the body organs, mainly damaging to the brain and the intestinal lining. Excessive adrenaline can damage the brain, as I have said, and this is why you find some people, when they have gone through stressful situations, you can either end up with a depression or a mental breakdown, depending on what you're going through. I've had stories of people who went back to Africa. They found that the money they were sending to their family to put a project for them was used up, and they actually lost their mind. So excessive stress makes the body to produce excessive adrenaline, and this can damage the brain, and the consequences can be things like a mental breakdown. Another thing is excessive adrenaline is corrosive to the intestinal lining. This is why you find when you have stress, you struggle with digestion. The digestive system ends up giving you trouble, and some people will end up with ulcers because of stress, and this problem could also lead up to cancer. So excessive adrenaline is quite damaging to the intestinal lining and other organs. If excess adrenaline gets to the bones, it can make them both fragile and thin. Alopecia is also caused by the weakening of the adrenal glands. So if your adrenal glands are constantly overproducing adrenaline, because you're going through a lot of stress, because for instance, you're struggling to forgive someone, and when you don't forgive somebody, you find yourself, you're talking about them, you're thinking about them, and this is, the body ends up producing this, what I'm calling excess adrenaline. So what happens when these adrenal glands have been overworked? They become weakened. And once they are weakened, they are not able to produce other hormones that are needed in the body. And in the case of alopecia, hormones that are responsible for hair growth are also produced by the adrenal glands. So if they are damaged or weakened because you're constantly under stress, that means these glands will not be able to produce the hormones you need for your hair to grow. So, and I'm sure we've all seen someone who has ended up with hair loss after suffering stress. So too much adrenaline can actually damage your pancreas and give you diabetes. I know there are people who suffer diabetes after the death of a loved one. So excessive adrenaline will damage the pancreas. Too much adrenaline can lead to blood pressure. As I said, adrenaline elevates your blood pressure. So if this is happening constantly, ultimately or unfortunately, you might end up with blood pressure, and the list goes on and on, and it is endless. So when you keep a grudge, the person that gets hurt is you. And this validates the sentence that holding on a grudge is like drinking poison and expecting someone else to die. Are you a person that struggles with forgiveness? I've seen people who have held a grudge on somebody who died. Oh, my uncle, my dad, my mom used to do A, B, C, D, and that person is long dead. So the only person you're hurting by keeping that grudge is you. My dear friends, it benefits you when you forgive others. It benefits us when we forgive others. It does not mean being naive, going back to a situation where you were hurt. You can let go, let go and move on. There's a book I was reading. It was called Letting Go. Let go and let God. So let go and let God vindicate you. When you think that people have been unfair to you, when you think you've been accused falsely, you don't have to always try to fight your battle. You can let go and let God be your vindicator. There are many people whose lives have been cut short just because they struggled with unforgiveness. So, my dear friends, it is a very good thing when we get to realize that keeping grudges, struggling with the negative emotions, it's only hurting you and it's not hurting the other person. I truly hope that you find value in my video. If you do so, please remember to click the share button, drop me a comment. If you've been affected by this issue, leave me a comment, give me a like, and also remember to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on my next videos. I do purpose to bring you more videos on this topic on this area that touches on our health. God bless you and goodbye.